What is going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Excited to bring you guys another update to the Burning Abyss deck, sort of continuing on the last profile, which had a bit more of a synchro focus, using Yazi and Mare to be able to do some cool link plays, linking up to Avermax and then following up with Savage Dragon through Ib. And I think I mentioned after that, or some point in a test hand video, that I was playing the quick launch engine, because I found out that we were getting this card in just a little while, which we actually have now. I just got the structure decks for the Rocket Revolt structure deck, and we have Rocket Tracer, which is a level 4 tuner that we can spec out of our deck by using quick launch, which allows us to get access to with any pretty much monster in our deck, because most of them are level 3. It gives us access to Yazi, which is huge and allows us to make some really cool plays. So we're definitely being able to expand on that strategy as opposed to last time. So got an update for you guys. We'll go ahead and get started, although I want to mention a quick shout out to our sponsor at Imperium Duelist. There is a giveaway going on still. The giveaway will be ending on Sunday before the live stream starts. I'll be choosing that winner probably in a video after that, so that's when I'll be closing sort of the comment sections on that video is on Sunday. And if you want to win a mat, you should go click up here and watch that video and leave a comment if it's not too late already. This mat I'm using here is a mat that Imperium Duelist is going to be coming out with soon, and is a bit of like a Toon theme mat, like you can sort of see down here, Toon Minerva and Toon Blue Eyes over here. I don't know why you can see it, but a mat that will be coming out, I believe, at some point soon. This is sort of an early version and not available for sale just yet, but will be soon enough. And speaking of Imperium Duelist, if you guys want to pick up any amazing sleeves or mats or dice, calculator cases, you name it, check them out down in the description below. A link to their website can be found there, along with that discount code WinterKills10 off, which you can use to save 10% off your entire order. So let's go ahead and get into the profile. To start, we have 3 copies of Farfa, the male branch of the Burning Abyss. Best removal card. Definitely want to play 3 of these still. 2 Skarm, because I find 3 can brick. It's just better sending them to the graveyard off of like a Rhino Warrior or off your Cherubini. So I do like 2 copies. 2 Libic. It's a nice extender when you need to get some cards out of your hand with their effects negated, so you can still make plays when you don't have Cherubini out. So I do like this card. Alec, good negation card to dump off of Beatrice. Barbar, of course, can steal games. And then, of course, the mandatory one of Graf and Seer. Very, very powerful cards that I hope we get back at least to 2. I think Graf for sure could come back to 2 in a future list. I don't see why it couldn't. Anybody who says no, I think is just kind of delusional. Just you think that Graf coming to 2 is going to make this deck tier 1, 100% representation at the next YCS. I just don't see it. And then moving forward, 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Just a phenomenal card all around. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can send a level 3 Fiend to the graveyard, or any Fiend type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a good extender to use to get sort of things like Skarm to the grave, or Farfa, or Graf, or Seer, if you don't mill into those and you mill into this instead, because we can play 3 of these. So it just allows for better, plays, I guess. Seeing cards that we can only play 1 of earlier, I guess. Then we have 3 Gallus the Star Beast. I am only playing 4 spells in this deck, so I had room too, so I figured Gallus works just fine in here. It can steal games as well with that burn effect. Milling into Shroodo and burning for 1400 damage can sometimes seal you the game, especially with the time rules. So Gallus can come in clutch, and it's a very good extender, sort of a pseudo danger, if you will. By the way, I'm not playing dangers in here for a bit of a budget option. You could definitely play Such and Jackalope and Nessie. I might actually move to playing those when they get reprinted in the Megatons, if I pull some, or if I'm able to get my hands on some. So keep that in mind. Just not playing the dangers right now for simply budget reasons. 3 Reclusia. This card is phenomenal with the the Cherubini, because you can summon this to the zone that Cherubini points to, use its effect to blow up a card, and then Cherubini just protects this. So it's like a free pop and no cost to you really, and just getting a level 3 play started. And then speaking of that Rocket Revolt structure deck, Defrag Dragon came in that structure deck, and that's a card I've been wanting to play in here as well, because again, it's like a pseudo danger. At the end of the day, discard, summon it, and it's a level 3, so it can trigger some effects and help build up your board. So 3 Defrag, 2 Psychic Wielder, and 2 Psychic Tracker. Again, really good. Before I was playing a build, before the new rocket stuff came out, I was playing 3 of each of these. I decided to drop back down to 1 just for now because they just don't need to be at 3 apiece anymore. 1 Tour Guide, 1 Sea Archiver, and 1 Edgem Sabers. These 2 cards are insane. I still think this card is highly underrated by a lot of BA players. It's insane. It's a reoccurring level 3 every turn. Anytime someone normal or special summons to his own link monster point, so you can just bring it out. It does get banished when it leaves the field, but if you detach it for an Xyz material, it will not get banished. So, very clutch card. Time and time again, I've said I love that card. So that's it for all the other level 3 monsters, next to the BAs. Quite a few level 3s. The next we have 3 copies of Destrudo. This card helps you push for a game, helps set up really good boards turn 1. So phenomenal card all around. Only thing that sucks is we play Merrimere in here. But the interesting thing about Merrimere, or any of the bricks we play in this deck, or garnets, we have a cool card in our deck that allows us to put really anything that we don't want back into our deck, and that's Edgem Sabers. So if you open up Merrimere in a way to get to Cherubini, you can put this back in your deck and potentially resolve a Destrudo through this, or through Quick Launch with the Rocket Tracer. So opening this card isn't always the end of the world now with that Edgem Sabers. It's really nice. Then we play 1 Rocket Tracer and 1 Auto Rocket Dragon. Both of these are in the structure deck, thank God. I have a super rare version of this. I just didn't feel like looking for it, and there was one in the structure deck, so I went with it. This is actually the only level 3 rocket, so I wanted to play more than just the Tracer, because if I draw the Tracer, if I mill the Tracer, I still want to have something that I can summon off Quick Launch. If I resolve a Quick Launch, I still want to have another target for later on in the turn. Their monster effects, they're not the greatest, probably won't come up. This guy does say you can target a face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck except itself. So you can potentially blow up cards on your side of the field to summon this out of the deck for a potential play. So there is some other things you can do with the Rocket Tracer than just using it as synchro material, which is nice. So play 1 of each of those, and then 3 copies of Quick Launch. Had to get the secret rares. I've been having the secret rares for a while anyway. So again, in the structure deck, this card is in the structure deck, so I would pick it up. There's so many good things in the structure deck. There's Imperial Order, Borlo, Dragon Red Reboot, Twin Twister, Dragon Shrine. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and this card's in there as well. So Quick Launch, and then the 1 World Legacy Succession to search off Ib for some synchro plays or more Xyz plays, depending on what you want to do with the card that you reborn. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. We'll move into the extra deck. Some tokens real quick, just because you need some tokens for Merrimere. These German Sky Striker tokens looking so clean. Moving forward, the 1 Dante Pilgrim. I wasn't going to play this, but I had my Beatrice destroyed in a video a few weeks ago. It was against Musket, and I didn't have this to summon out of it, and I felt like I was missing out big time. And I just don't want to ever have that feeling again, just because this card is so good. I don't know. I'm not going to cut it. 1 Link Karibo, 1 Cherubini, because you really, in all honesty, don't need a second one. You can recycle this with Dante, which we play 2 copies of. So if you do need to go into this one again, just make sure you recycle it with your Dante and just get it back in your extra deck that way. But most of the time, you're going to have Avermax in your extra monster zone, which you don't want to link out, away anyways. So playing 1 Cherubini is fine. It's really all you need for your main combo at the end of the day. And again, it is recyclable. 1 Decode Talker, just a link 3 with good arrows. Really solid card. 1 Avermax wins you just so many games. This card is so strong. Cannot be targeted with card effects, and your opponent can only attack this card, and if you attack it, this card gains attack equal to that monster's attack of that special summon monster. So very hard to deal with. Then we have 1 Borosword Dragon. Just swing for a game, really. 1 Savage Dragon for synchros, 1 Yazi, 1 Dawn Dragster. Yazi's for going second when you see either Quick Launch or Destrudo, and Dawn Dragster's for going first when you see either Quick Launch or Destrudo. So just some options, if you will, if you do have to go first. 1 Bryo and 1 Ib, of course. This is made off of either Psychic Wielder and 2 Merrimere tokens, or Merrimere and a token. Yeah, just really easy to get into. Bryo, of course, very easy to get into with the Psychic Wielder or the Psychic Weed Dealer. Just very easy to get into and break some boards. Then for Xyz, 2 Dante, 1 Gossip Shadow. This is nice to make turn 1. If you can make like Beatrice and this, so it gives you an extra negate. You basically just make any card become, both players draw a card, so helps you get a little resource back as well. Double Dante I think is necessary, and 1 Beatrice to top it off, because this card is really strong. So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I'll go ahead and show you case a real quick sort of combo, if you will, or test hand, just showcasing the new rocket card and sort of how you can use those to do some cool plays essentially. Combos pretty much the same last time. I don't think I was actually showing combos on the last time I did a deck profile for this. But I will go ahead and do that now. Alright, so the first combo I want to show to you guys before we do a test hand is just a 3-card combo. It's sort of 4 cards, but the 1 card literally doesn't matter. You just need something to stack back to the top of your deck with Edgem Saber. So technically 3. The other card, there's no requirement on what it needs to be, spell or monster. Just literally be anything to stack back to the top of your deck. So yeah, these are the 3 cards. And again, this could be Gallus again if it goes through. This could be Psychic Tracker. You could do this with Tour Guide. There's tons of options you can do with this hand, but let's just use these 3 cards. And again, the nice thing about Quick Launch, it's basically our 4th, 5th, 6th copy of Destrudo. So, and we don't have to pay the half life points for it either. So we'll start with Rhino Warrior, special summoning the Psychic Wielder, and then we will, let me just zoom out here for a bit just so you guys can see a bit more. Yeah, so we will link these away, and we will go right into Cherubini, and then we'll use the Rhino Warrior here to send the Graph, and we're going to get Seer off of the Graph as well, just because we need a little level 3 extension going on here. So we'll summon that off the Graph, and then we're going to use Cherubini here to send the Edgem Sabers from our deck to the graveyard. I mean, I guess technically you could send Archiver, or Sea Archiver here if you had like another way to get another level 3 on board. That would work as well. But again, Edgem Sabers here works just fine. So we'll dump the Sabers to the grave, just like that. And then we will stack that, any random card we have in our hand, stack that back to the top of our deck, and then link these off into Decode Talker, or our Link 3 with 2 down arrows. I just like Decode because he works pretty well and easy to make. Then we'll activate Quick Launch, which I think that Rocket Tracer is right there. And then we'll synchro these into Yazi, like this. Activate Yazi's effect, assuming we're going second for this combo as well. I should mention that. Yazi will destroy a card on their side of the field. And then we'll summon out Mare, who will start summoning out some tokens. We're going to summon out all 3. 1 over here next to Decode Talker, 1 here, and 1 here. We will link this in to a copy of Link Karibo, which we should use, obviously, basically only using for tokens, and we'll be able to get him back on the field after we link him away. Because now we're going to link into a copy of Big Daddy Avermax, just like that. This is a level 4 now, so we will link this and the token away into a copy of Ib, World Chalice Justiciar, activating Ib's effect to search that copy of World Legacy Succession from our deck to our hand. One of the other only spells in our grave. And another thing about this combo with the little spells that we play, we just knocked 2 spells out of our deck in the same turn, so Gallus has like a sort of a greater odd to go off now. Now we'll activate Succession, summoning any level 3 in our grave that preferably isn't a BA. We don't want it to auto die on summon, so we'll summon out Edgem Sabers and link these off now for a copy of Borreload Savage Dragon, just like that. And then we'll use Borreload Savage Dragon on summon here to equip the Decode Talker to it, giving it 3 tokens or 3 counters. And then we'll tribute this last token here to be able to summon that Link Karibo back to our field. And we've gotten that all just off of pretty much 3 cards. We did have to stack a card back to the top of our deck, but this is a pretty solid field if you ask me. And we're also getting an end phase search off of our Scarm for Tour Guide, or whatever you need really. I'll just grab Tour Guide here. So Tour Guide coming in here at the end phase. So pretty strong combo, if you ask me. And again, it could be done with assortment of different cards. You could use Tracker or Gallus. Just a ton of different ways to do it. Or a Defrag Dragon if you have a good discard. Tons and tons of ways to do it there. Or you could just use Destrudo instead of Quick Launch as well. That's always another option to sort of take into account there. So we're going to shuffle up now, and we'll do a random test hand and see what we can make do. Alright, so the deck has been shuffled. Let's go ahead and draw into a random hand of 5 or 6, depending on what we have to work with here. So, drawing into our opening hand, we have Graph, Libic, Farfa, Reclusia, and a copy of World Legacy Succession. Let's draw our 6th card and see how much of a difference it would make between going first or second. So, not too big of a difference there. So, let's go first, since the combo we did was going second. So let's go first with this build and see what happens. We'll normal the graph here because I don't really think normaling anything else here makes sense. Special summoning the Libic, and we'll link these two away into a copy of Cherubini. Now we'll use graph here to summon out any Burning Abyss monster. I'm going to go ahead and grab Skarm just so we can secure the Skarm phase. And then we'll activate this here to recycle, and not recycle anything, but, you know, get a card into our graveyard to work with as well. We have Sea Archiver as an option. We could also dump a copy of Sabers of the Grave to put the Succession back to the top of our deck, but Succession could come in clutch. We also have Reclusia as a level 3 extender as well. I'm going to go ahead and dump the Archiver to the grave just to keep our hand advantage up without having to put anything back, because this Archiver will essentially just be free, is what it will be. We'll special summon the Crusadia. We won't use Sea Archiver here because we don't really have a need at the moment. Now we'll overlay into a copy of Dante, and we'll use Dante here to mill the Skarm, milling 1, 2, and 3. So that's extremely unfortunate. We just milled both of our quick launch targets. Oh well. Of course, curse of the camera. What can I say? What can I say? Also, one thing I want to mention, we should probably use on summon there that effect of Sea Archiver to bring this over, because we actually end with 2 rank 3s and a Beatrice, or a Beatrice and another rank 3, which will be Gossip Shadow. So not too terrible, I suppose. We can't use the Libic since we specialed the Libic from hand, which is unfortunate. But what we could do is potentially... Actually, we don't need to summon this here. We can just summon this over here, because this doesn't need to go to his own link monster points to. Then we'll just use Succession to bring back any monster. We'll just bring back Graph and put it over here. It is being protected by Cherubini. And then we'll use this to overlay into the Gossip Shadow. And then we'll discard this to summon out the Beatrice. This will have been used, so that's fine. But we do have a Skarm Search in the end phase here, which of course will grab us Tour Guide. So as it stands, we have a Beatrice and a Gossip Shadow that can't be destroyed by card effect. We have a Monster Negate, and we have an Interrupt right here, and a follow-up for next turn with the Tour Guide. So not terrible with that weird hand, despite us milling both of our rocket targets. And we're drawing a Defrag Dragon for turn, which isn't terrible. I mean, if this survives, we're in a really good spot, which hopefully we can make it survive. And we can resolve this as well, summon out sort of a Skarm, get another search in the end phase, just by having it come out and auto-die. So that's an option as well. So a pretty solid board there. Yeah, just a pretty solid board. Not terrible, not the greatest. Seeing sort of quick launch made a bit of a better field. We could have just ended with, like... you know, a Dawn Dragster instead of like the Gossip Shadow, and had kept some more cards in our hand. But yeah, pretty easy to pilot for the most part. Pretty, you know, rank 3 spam and, you know, synchro spam as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop me a like, leave a comment down in the comment section below, and go watch that giveaway video and enter if you haven't done so already. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.